Hey everybody, Sean, Mystic Valley Woodworks. So I want to do a quick little video on a panel glue up. So after this was rough sawn figured maple, after running it through the joiner, I got one edge straight, got the top face jointed, and I ran it through my planer to get down to a consistent thickness of 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I have it laid out. This is going to be the bottom of the table underneath. So there's going to be some imperfections in this part here, which that's okay. I mean, nobody's really going to be getting under there to look at it much anyway, right? So what I like to do is I like to get my T-square. I already know the size of this top. This top is 48 inches long, and it's a little less than 24 inches deep. Yeah, it's 23 1/4, and I had to do that because with this wood being rough sawn, it took quite a bit of edge joining to get a straight edge. Whenever you edge joint, you always want to take the part that's curved like this. Of course, that's an exaggeration. Across the joiner first. You don't ever want to do it when it's like that. You'll never get it jointed. The edge will never join. So you always want to go with this way. And same thing with the face joint. When you're doing the face of the board, you want the cup to be up. So you're taking the two high spots off each end, and as you go, you're going to get down to the center. So anyway, let's get this tabletop going. So I'm going to measure. I know I'm 48 inches. So I'm going to go 24 inches to the center. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to come in off the edge. I know I'm not going to be trimming this one up, but most of the time when I cut my tabletops long, I come in 2.5, 3 inches. So when I rip the sides off to get it to the correct size, then I don't cut into my biscuits, and you have your biscuit end showing on your end grain. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and come in 2 inches here. Alright. And that's going to give me a section that's going to be 11 inches in the middle. So I'm going to go 11 inches right here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go 2 inches. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to go 11 inches. Okay, and since I know that my ends are square, my edges are square, because I ran it through my joiner, then all I have to do is just take my T-square, line it up, make short little lines, that. Come down here to the next one. And if you're off a smidge, don't worry about it. I mean, you're just making biscuit joints, right? This can also be done if you don't have a biscuit joiner. You can do this with dowels. You can do it with a domino. If you happen to have the money to be able to afford a domino joiner, go for it. Maybe one day I'll have one. But for right now, I'll just use my trusty old Harbor Freight biscuit joiner, which has served me quite well since I've had it. I've not had any issues out of it. Okay, so I like to label my pieces. This is going to be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. That way when I put it back together. Okay, and I like to put a little B at each biscuit joint, just in case I have a helper in the shop and they're not sure where these biscuits go. They'll know. So just do a quick little B like this, short for biscuit. You don't have to, but I've made so many mistakes over the years doing this kind of stuff. It's just like, you know what? I need to mark it. I need to do a better job of marking what I'm doing. Okay, so we're good to go there. Alright, so we got that done. I clogged up once. Blow off our water setting. Okay, let's see, this is 2 and 3. This is 1 and 2. This is 3. This is 1. Yeah, like that. Alright. So now, get everything lined back up. We're good to go. Okay, so what I like to do is get a piece of sandpaper. This 180 grit will work. What I like to do is just hit the biscuit holes real quick. Because sometimes you'll have a little bit of the wood will still be sitting there. Where it's cut, you may have a little tear out right there. It's not really tear out, it's just leftover wood. But you want to sand that off real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and took a few minutes off camera and finished cleaning up those edges like I was talking about earlier. So now everything's good and cleaned up. Put a couple of clamps down. And I put some blue painter's tape on my clamps just to prevent any glue from sticking to my clamps or my clamps having any of the black on the pipe get off onto the wood. So let's glue this bad boy up. Okay, so now that we've got our panel glued up, let's go ahead and tighten down our clamps. What I like to do is I like to take a little piece off cut of pine or maple, whatever you've got, and I like to put it in between like this. And the only reason why I do that is it helps prevent any of the paint from getting onto your wood, and it also helps prevent any of the clamps to put dents in your wood. And again, that really depends on how tight you make it. Alright, looks good. We'll go ahead and give a couple twists on this one. Bring it together. And you want just a little bit of squeeze out. You don't want too much. This clamp acts like it don't want to lock down. So I've got those two, and I want to put another one across the bottom. center it up a little bit. That one's still not acting right. I'm gonna have to do something with it. Go. Nice. These tray clamps out so I can figure out what's going on with that one. Now, I had that problem with my clamps, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. It's okay. Closing up the gaps. There we go. Everything looks good. Everything's closed up. Tighten them down. Now what I like to do is I like to look across the bottom. And if there's anywhere where it's not touching, where the wood's not touching the clamp, I like to, which it is here. So that's pretty flat glue up, looks like. So we're gonna take this one out. We'll put it on top. And again, you want to try to use some type of block of wood. Well, I do. That means whatever you want to do. I like to use the wood. So like I said, I don't want to transfer any type of marks onto my wood. There we go. I'll get one more clamp to put on here, and I'll set that off to the side to dry. So that's how I do my panel glue ups. Like I said, you can use Biscuits, you can use dowels, you can use a Festool domino. If you don't have any of that stuff, that's no big deal, okay? You can still glue it together without using anything. Just make sure that you're flat on the surface, you know, on your clamps. Make sure you're flat. And you may need to use coals to go across to help squeeze everything to keep it from bowing up on you when you tighten it down. That's why I like to put one across the top. Most of the time this pressure here can cause it to go this way, but this pressure will cause it to go back down, so it helps keep it flat. That's why I always put at least 2 or 3 across the bottom and 2 across the top. And I do use coals at times to help hold everything flat and straight. You can make a groove, 1/8 inch groove or 15 millimeter groove, whatever your biscuits are. I think these are, the thickness is 15/16. So you get your 1/8 inch with your table saw and rip you a line down the center of your board. There's many ways to do it. When I first started woodworking, I started out with a cheap old jigsaw and a circular saw, and the circular saw I still use today, and battery drills, and that was it. I did everything with that. I built, you know, everything with it. And as I've progressed in knowledge and in experience and what have you, I upgraded my tools as people would buy equipment, or not buy equipment, but as people would buy something off of me, I would use the profits from that to go buy a new tool. I've been woodworking now full time, or not full time, but you know, I've been woodworking quite a bit for the last, I'll say about 3 years. But I've been a carpenter all my life. So, you know, don't let not having the proper tools stop you from trying to build something. Okay? There's other ways to do it. You can find all kinds of videos on Instagram on how to do it. Okay? But that's how I glue up a panel. Alright? This is Sean, Mystic Valley Woodworks. Check out over here for any other videos that you might want to watch. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really means a lot to me for you to subscribe and like it. Hit that bell icon also so that when I do upload a new video, you'll be the first one to find out about it. You can also go and follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Mystic Valley Woodworks on Instagram and Facebook. And hey, always be willing to try something new. See you on the next one.